Let's begin with the SCO, or the Shanghai Cooperation Organisation. India happens to be the president of the SCO this year, and that's why all the defence ministers seem to be in town, other than Pakistan, of course, which is joining virtually. The foreign ministers of the SCO countries will be here next week. This clearly is a big year for India in diplomacy. The G20 presidency is also with India. But the SCO, of course, has some interesting dynamics, if I can call them that, because of the countries present, which include both China and Pakistan. And I don't have to tell you about India's relations with either China or Pakistan. Now, less than 10 days ago, terrorists trained by Pakistan ambushed and killed 5 Indian Army soldiers in Jammu and Kashmir. Just weeks ago, China tried to act smart and announced new names of places located in the Indian state of Arunachal Pradesh. So today, defense ministers of Pakistan and China are there putting on a very civilized diplomatic veneer, talking about how relations can be built forward. But there's obviously an issue with this, and India has tried to make it clear that the running with the hares and the hunting with the hounds will not work. It cannot work forever. Just yesterday, India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh told his Chinese counterpart that the violation of border agreements with Beijing had to stop. These have eroded the entire basis of relations between the two countries, and until this is fixed, relations cannot be expected to go back to normal. Now, the dynamics of all of this do play out to some extent in the Shanghai Cooperation Organisation. This, of course, is a grouping of 8 nations with regional security as one of its main aims. However, India cannot expect that the duplicitous behavior of China or Pakistan is going to be called out at SCO platforms. Before I tell you why, let's take a brief look at the history of the SCO. This was an initiative led by China with Russia's support. The SCO was formed in 2001 by leaders of China, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Russia, Tajikistan and Uzbekistan, Central Asia, Russia and China. Then in 2017, India and Pakistan both became full members of the SCO. Now obviously, Russia wanted India there, and China said, India is not joining until Pakistan joins, so both India and Pakistan came in. So it's clear from all of that that the grouping is somewhat dominated by China, with Pakistan as a crucial vassal ally state adding its voice. Additionally, Russia, which has been India's key sponsor or India's key partner, not just in the SCO but everywhere else in the world, is increasingly becoming dependent on China. Ever since it invaded Ukraine, Russia has been dependent on China. Economically, it's very dependent on China. And so it has to start listening a little bit more to what China says. China clearly has been trying to expand its influence in Central Asia through its Belt and Road Initiative. So, murky waters, and how can India best navigate this diplomatic and strategic minefield to protect its own interests and to keep China and Pakistan at bay? Will the upcoming Quad summit in May be a better platform for India to formulate a response to Beijing and Pakistan? Well, almost certainly, because there's no divergence of interests out there. However, people still say it is good for India to be part of the SCO because it's better to try and influence what's happening here rather than sitting outside and complaining.